Intervention by IBB. This is going to be severely edited, right? Yes?
Yeah. Hi Versha, how are you?
Fine.
You're here from Barbados, and it's the first time on Curacao. So I was wondering, what were your expectations of the IBB?
I didn't really try to come with a big certain amount of expectations. I just kind of wanted to come here and accept what I found about it, but I expected more of a school institution than it actually is. But when I got here, I kind of got confused about how much of a school it really was. So I mean, I didn't really have any expectations about Curacao other than that people told me it was really hot and dry, and yeah, so I tried not to have too many expectations coming here.
Okay. One of the first works we saw from you was the animation. It made us wonder what actually pushed you into the world of animation.
Just when I was investigating the whole idea of fairy tales, I was thinking about the written fairy tales, and then that led me into how Disney revamped those fairy tales and made them their own. And then when I started investigating Disney's fairy tales, then I started to wonder about how they actually made them at first, which was cell animation. So then I started to make my animations along the same lines of the way they did their cell animations, and that's what pushed me into that realm.
Okay, so you also provided the students with a workshop in animation. How did that go? How did you experience the workshop?
How did I experience the workshop? Well, to be honest, like I've never had any want or inclination to teach anybody, because it's not something that I want to do. But how do you say this? It wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. That's the honest truth. But at the same time, like, I feel being a teacher is not just about giving knowledge to students. It's about pushing them beyond what they want to do, and about caring for them and kind of cultivating their practice, because they may not see the potential that they have, and so you have to push them. I don't really think that I'm ready to be able to care that much for students to be able to do that, but at the same time, like, I feel this experience was good in helping me to figure out, okay, well, teaching is not that bad, so it's not something that I'm never going to consider, but at the same time, I don't think it's something that I'm ready to attack yet, because I'm not in that mindset. So yeah.
Okay. So you're almost at the end of your residency right now. So what do you think you will take with you or cherish the most from your residency here at the IB?
Like, a bunch of things. Every residency I go to, there are always people there that I'm gonna kind of carry around with me after that. So that's one thing. I wish to God that back home had landscapes like how this place has landscapes. I'm not accustomed to the whole flatlands, dry grass, cactus thing. So that is something that is one of the most special things about being here when I saw that place, because those landscapes are along the lines of what I want my animations to be and to feel like. So that was very precious to me. The process of my work, even though I mean, at the end I'm not completely satisfied with the results that I got, but at the same time I think it sent me through a process that made me realize certain things about myself and about my work. So moving forward, it's gonna be, I have a better idea of what I want to do, especially coming off of the last animation I made. Sometimes when I end an animation, then there's a period of not really knowing where to go and what to do and how I feel about things. So this experience has helped me to kind of pinpoint where I want to go.
Hi Rinka, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks.
So you're here participating in IBB's Artist in Residence program. What spoke to you about the IBB and convinced you to apply to a residency here?
A lot of different things. It's good for artists to work in other countries, and yeah, there are a lot of different residencies you can choose. And yeah, the first thing was I already heard about the IBB and the way how, yeah, not the whole way, but something about the way how you guys working here. And I thought this is really interesting because it's a mixture between making art and education. So that was for me the most important thing.
Okay. And when you arrived, what was your first impression of our institute?
Of the IBB. The first minute I thought, what a mess. I saw the garden and yeah, it was in the night, it was at the presentation of Machtot, so it was dark and then you only have these lights, white lights, and you see dark trees and a lot of messy art. So that was my first visual impression. And then the presentations began, and then yeah, it was just interesting, and all the students just arrived because it was the beginning of the new year, so everybody was a little bit watching what is going to happen, so that was for me the same.
Okay, you've been working now for a little over 2 months, more or less, than 2 months. And how do you go to work? Do you have some sort of routine?
Now we have a little routine because Versia is also living at my place, so at 9:30 we are going to the IBB, and it's only 5 minutes by car, and I can drive with my own eyes closed. No, and most of the time I finish working at 5 or 5:30. And now is the second week of teaching, so now the routine is a little bit different. So I try to work in the morning for my own stuff, and then the teaching starts at 2:30. But I feel that the teaching is quite intense, so now my own work is getting slow a little bit, but at the other side, the project with the students is really interesting, so it helps me a lot also with my own work. Yeah.
You're now currently about halfway through your residency.
Mm-hmm.
What currently moves you in your work? What makes you keep going?
In general or here?
Here.
Mm-hmm. That's so. These questions are sometimes so difficult. Yesterday we had a really interesting conversation with the whole group of students about a documentary. It's called Curaçao, and it's a really black and white way of how can I explain that? It's about the way how the Dutch people and the people here from Curaçao are being portrayed in the movie, and I think this will be really important for my own stuff too. And I see the project with the students also as my own art project too. So this is what is moving me, these questions about different point of views. We started the teaching with a really simple assignment of an apple with two times the same apple in two different environments. And is the apple changing or is it the same in different environments? So this question for me is, I think, always important in my work.
What do you hope to accomplish here at the IBB with your residency, or for yourself, for your work?
A lot of different things. I have a big list with things and I'm not sure if the time is enough to finish all those stuff. I want to find a new way of expressing myself and also interacting with people and to find out how this interaction between people and me can be art. Something like that.
Okay.
And I'm also just working on my visual stuff, and I feel now there's a lot of time to try new things. So I'm, yeah, that's really the technical stuff. I'm just trying all new kind of ways of three-dimensional and two-dimensional things. I'm mixing always the two-dimensional photography and try to make three-dimensional sculptures of it. And yeah, I'm still not done with this material.
So, MJ, how are you?
Good, good.
How does it feel to be the first ever IBB student to participate in the local artist in residence program?
Well, it's a privilege to be given this opportunity. It is it feels like yeah, returning back home. Everything started here for me. The art world, everything started here. So being back and being able to switch places from student to mentor, teacher, yeah, it feels very special and challenging to do. So yeah, I feel really comfortable doing it.
Okay, so you're also going to give a workshop, right?
Mhm.
What do you hope to teach our students?
Well, the workshop I'm planning to give it's about color. I want to teach them a little bit about color theory, but not too much, because I believe sometimes theory can mess up things for you instead of doing a good thing to your practice. So I just want to do the basics about color theory, and I want them to experiment with the thickness of paint, because I remember when I was beginning as a art student, my use of paint was very thick, and that many times limits the space of the form that you are putting on paper, on canvas. So I want to teach them about how to play with the thickness or the thinness of the paint, and how colors work with each other. Because I think that colors, when they are put next to each other, they tell different stories. So that's pretty much what I want to teach the kids here. Yeah.
That sounds very nice. I think they're really going to like that. And as someone who followed our course yourself, what do you think about the IBB, as in where we are now, compared to when you started long ago?
Phew, well, it's yeah, it's so different, yet still the same. Different in the commodities, because back then we didn't have what we have now. Like now we have a green room, we have a recording studio, we have we can develop analog photographs. We have a computer studio. Well, back then we had it as well, but not like now, you know, like with all these Mac computers and like all the facilities to the woodwork shop that we have now. We didn't have that back then, and everything was really basic, you know, like it wasn't so well organized, let's say, and I think it's really good, you know, because now also the IBB can offer a space for a bigger group of students. Back then we used to be like 8 in the first year, so you know, it has its good things and also the less good things, because what I notice with the way that students manipulate the materials, they're not really conscious about the prices and, you know, what how much a bucket of paint costs. So this for me back then was a good thing because we didn't have much, so we also went carefully with the materials, and we tried to do the more we could with the little we have. So yeah, it's but in overall I think it's all positive the way IBB has grown. And I mean Tirzo and David are still the same mentors, and they're putting the same energy. I think even with a even more passionate energy than back then, you know. So I think it's very positive what IBB is becoming now, and I think the future just holds way more better things for this place.
You spoke about giving a workshop about paint and color, but what is your favorite medium of expression? Do you have any size or format preference for your work?
Well, if it was up to me, I would make huge things. But you know, many times the space you work in is limiting you. Also actually it's pretty much the space you work in, because I remember when I was in Holland, I had a room, and the biggest space I could work on was 150 by 2 meters. So I never did work bigger than that in Holland because I couldn't go bigger, and it was in very awkward positions, so very uncomfortable. But now here I wish I could make bigger things, but still not only the space is limiting, but the size of the mediums are limiting. So let's say at the moment I'm working on canvas. The measurements of the canvas is already limited, you know. So that for me is, I wish I could work bigger, you know, that I would have to move like with a bike across my painting, something like that. But you know, I haven't reached that stage where I can permit myself to do something like that. But that's big is very interesting for me.
Last question.
Okay.
Now that you're back from the Netherlands, what do you wish to accomplish in the near future?
In the near future? Well, pretty much get started, you know, because it's leaving school and starting as a young artist is really it's really a challenge, you know, and I already start to see the difficulties in starting a career as an artist. So like what I'm really looking for is actually just get started, and I think after that everything will be alright. But the getting started part, I think that's the most hard part, just to begin. Yeah, but I'm here and I'm doing my thing, and I think it's just a matter of time to, you know, to make the right connections, meet the right people, and keep working hard, because at the end networking is important, but I think it's about the work, you know. And I think if you work hard on your development as an artist and as a person, then you can do it. You can do it.